Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson isn't just a wrestling legend, he's a Hollywood heavyweight. But his path to stardom wasn't easy. Johnson's early life was challenging.
Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock, comes from a long line of wrestlers. His father, Rocky Johnson, was a boxer before becoming a pro wrestler. It was during this time that Rocky met and began a relationship with Atta Maivia, who was the adopted daughter of wrestler High Chief Peter Maivia. Rocky was already married with children at the time, but he eventually divorced his first wife in 1978 and married Atta that same year. Dwayne's childhood was marked by instability. Born in 1972, he and his mother often moved around Hawaii, rarely staying in one place for more than a few months. They even faced eviction at least once, leaving Dwayne with a strong memory of coming home to a locked door and an eviction notice. "My mother begins to cry. She just broke down and began to cry. Where will we make our home? How will we proceed?" Just a week prior, Atta's car had been repossessed. The young Rock became involved in a theft ring that targeted visitors in Waikiki when he was a teenager, which led to several run-ins with the local police. Dwayne hasn't sugarcoated his father's connection. He has said that Rocky Johnson is an absentee father, and that this causes great emotional suffering for his mother, Atta. Dwayne talked about the day his mother tried suicide in front of him soon after the eviction in an interview with Express. He was traveling on Interstate 65 in Nashville with his father, mother, and brother. His mother abruptly exited the vehicle and entered oncoming traffic. Fortunately, Dwayne arrived in time to save her life by yanking her back onto the shoulder of the road while other cars swerved out of the path. The Rock has remarked that, looking back, he was fortunate that day and has bemoaned how many suicides result in much more awful outcomes. "One of the most important truths I've ever learned is how fleeting life is, and I realized that right then." Even though he may have saved his mother's life, he acknowledged that the experience had also made him depressed. "I got to the point where I didn't want to go any place or do anything," he stated. "I couldn't stop crying." The Rock added that his mother has absolutely no memory of the incident. Since then, their relationship has repaired and they are warm and affectionate. When Dwayne shared an Instagram video showing himself singing to his mother in 2023 on her 75th birthday, she broke down in floods of happiness. Growing up around professional wrestling, Dwayne Johnson encountered numerous industry veterans. His grandfather took on the role of a father figure for him and helped keep his life in order because his father was rarely home. He was a very proud man who was very much loved and respected, and also one of the toughest men ever in pro wrestling. The Rock said about Peter Maivia in an interview with GQ. Dwayne previously said that some of the inspiration for his character Maui in Disney's Moana came from his grandfather. Unfortunately, Maivia passed away from cancer when Dwayne was just 10 years old, which served as one of the impetuses for the young Rock's brief involvement in small-time crime. Later, when he was in his 20s, Dwayne was equally devastated when Andre the Giant passed away in 1993 at the young age of 46. Years later, Johnson wrote, "Andre was a hero of mine. And for some reason he took a liking to me too, and always treated me like his own son," in a tribute to the eighth wonder of the world that he posted on X, formerly Twitter. Andre and Peter Maivia were close friends when they were professional wrestlers, which may be why the enormous legend liked Dwayne so much. The Rock also paid homage to the two men on Instagram, praising their closeness and regretting that he was never able to share a tequila with them. Before pursuing a career in wrestling similar to those of his father and grandpa, football was Dwayne Johnson's passion, and he was awarded a scholarship to play at the University of Miami. The Rock revealed to The Hollywood Reporter that his freshman year was marked by his first ever injury. "My shoulder suddenly kinda came out of its socket," he added. Dwayne fell back into a depression as a result, starting to doubt who he was and what he wanted to do with his life. His parents were cohabiting in Tampa at the time. He made the decision to move home with them after quitting school. However, a few weeks later, the young Rock got a call from his coach, who chastised him and told him to return. "Get your ass in a car, and return immediately," he commands. He felt furious and embarrassed. It's one thing to experience depression and an injury, when you turn aside and it's something else. Johnson came back, but he was unable to secure a draft pick in the NFL. Even after agreeing to a deal with the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League, he was still unable to support his mother. When he was cut to the practice squad and paid just $250 a week, things became even worse. He was eventually removed from the team completely.
Dwayne Johnson wed Danny Garcia, his first wife, in 1997. After 10 years of marriage, they produced one daughter, Ava, who is currently the general manager of NXT. Garcia and Johnson have stayed friends and have even collaborated professionally. Garcia claimed to people that their past experiences had aided them in their business endeavors. About her former spouse, she remarked, "He has a strong sense of family. We enjoy an additional degree of trust that is exclusive to family relationships. We are simply a new family that continues to grow." Johnson revealed to The Hollywood Reporter that accepting responsibility for his broken marriage threw him into yet another depressive spiral, making him doubt his abilities as a husband and parent. "It all hit me at that moment. In what sense does this make me a father? What sort of man am I going to be now? Divorce had a unique way of hitting me in the behind, and failing at marriage and as a spouse was a heavy thing." In an interview with the Wall Street Journal magazine years later, Johnson disclosed that he needed almost 10 years to come to terms with his divorce and be open to being married again. After dating for 12 years and the birth of their 2 daughters, Jasmine Lee and Tiana Gia, he eventually wed Lauren Hashian in 2019. Johnson remarked, "My divorce took a toll on me. My reluctance to get married again was more hesitation than dread." Only the 6th WWE Triple Crown champion in history, The Rock is an 8-time WWE champion. But in addition to the recognition, he had numerous failures during his WWE tenure. While undergoing treatment, Johnson detailed all of the injuries he had sustained over the years that he had risked his health in an Instagram post from 2021. "I had 4 knee surgeries, had my adductor and quadriceps pulled off my pelvis, and had triple hernia surgery. Achilles tendon rupture, total shoulder replacement, 3 herniations and 2 ruptures in the low back discs." In an Instagram Q&A, Johnson clarified that in fact, he had retired in 2004. And he said that it was only his contract expiring. "I'd fulfilled my deal with the WWE in 2004, which is when my contract ended. Naturally, though, he did not disappear." In 2011, The Rock made a call to Vince McMahon, the then head of WWE, and the two started organizing his official retirement and 2-year comeback, which culminated in a rematch with John Cena at WrestleMania 29. Johnson tore his abdomen and his quadriceps off the bone during that match, among other serious injuries. "My abdomen was basically torn up."
Johnson and Hashian had to take their daughter Jasmine to a neighboring hospital in the middle of the night in March 2018. Johnson discussed the problem on his Instagram after it occurred. "Something occurred to my family and myself this past Saturday night, something I would never want to happen to any of you guys out there." Johnson expressed gratitude to the UCLA medical staff and the Los Angeles Fire Department, but he withheld information regarding the nature of the incident. He did, however, provide extra with more details. "We experienced what many parents know to be a frightening cough, which she ended up having, and she also had trouble breathing at that very moment." Johnson and Hashian then dialed 911 to get Jasmine the assistance she required. Jasmine's father frequently characterizes her as fearless, and she is now in good health and happiness. Johnson frequently posts adorable photos of his daughters on social media. Thanks for watching. We hope you found these tragic details about The Rock insightful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing content. And remember, while we admire our favorite celebrities, it's essential to recognize their human struggles too. Stay tuned for our next video, and until then, take care.